The men and the women were separated, and an African man couldn't have a wife, couldn't claim a wife. Coming from West Africa, most of us actually had more than one wife and were very familiar. Being brought as Africans and slaves to the Caribbean and the Americas, we were denied having conjugal relationships. And a lot of relationships were hit and miss, in the field, in a bush. So sometimes fathers, people didn't know that they were fathers. Sometimes wives or mothers were moved on to another plantation. Fathers were moved on to another plantation. Sometimes they didn't want it to be known that they were in a relationship because they wanted to protect the woman and the child because of the leverage that the slave master would have by beating her to get at him. The relationship issues that I mentioned earlier exacerbated it. Difficult to actually settle and get along together. So it was easy for them just to have these absentee relationships. And then it actually transferred itself to the United Kingdom, where in fact, what then happened was the state became the father. The social security system became the father. And I think 3 generations in the United Kingdom with that kind of system has only exacerbated it.
With epigenetics, they're discovering that things that would be a problem for people years ago can be still being experienced and acted out actually in behaviors by current living younger people. And so an example would be the Irish during the famine going to America. A piece of research declares that during the famine, certain chemicals were released in the body because they were hungry. And those same chemicals are being released in current Irish people who might be living the most abundant life. They're well off, they're no longer hungry, but they're still releasing those chemicals.